my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be another weight loss update kind of a thing, where it's actually not a weight loss update, that's the wrong word. I think it is another weight loss video where I'm going to address another point or two that might help you if you are on an unbalanced diet or if there is some issue, you know. So I want to really take my time and go through the issues one by one, or like I said, maybe 2 points or something like that per video, because there's just so much around everything that I want to share also with my experiences that I have. And so we're going to do that today. And please let me know in the comments what you think about that I'm doing content like that too, because I personally, I feel it is nice to have mixed content, because of course I do makeup content, I do chatty makeup videos, I do the wrapping tutorials, I do lifestyle. Of course I don't do like cooking videos and lifestyle like that. That is not so much what I want to do, and it's also not what interests me at all, really. But what do you think about that? Because a lot of other YouTubers who have much bigger growth than I do have told me, Leorah, that is probably the reason why you are not growing so fast, because you don't stick to one topic. And I have mixed feelings about this, because I feel like I want to do more than just makeup, because I am more than just makeup. But it's also, I don't know, I also want my channel to grow. I want to, of course, give you what you want to see. So please let me know if you're vibing well with this concept of just doing a little bit of everything, and then maybe just come for whatever you want to see, or come for everything. That would be awesome. That would be the best, honestly. But anyway, let me know, like, really your honest opinion, what you feel about this. Okay. Now, I also want to, of course, say that I have done videos, if you're just finding me now, okay? I have done previous videos about weight loss and about all of these topics that are connected to this. And there is a playlist on my channel if you want to check it out. I think it's called My Weight Loss Journey or Weight Loss. You'll find it among my playlists, and I do have a lot of playlists. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we are going into this today, and what I want to address today is actually something that I am also working on right now. Now, I'm pretty good at my weight loss journey right now, but I'm still, as you know, going once a week. I'm going to therapy, and we're still trying to dig around and not looking for problems that are not there, but also not ignoring things even if they are small, because potentially they can grow into something bigger. And then at some point, when you're sort of losing your grip on things, like in a world crisis like we just went through, or we're still partially going through, and you're sort of losing your mind a little bit, and you just cannot hold on to whatever you used to do and you thought it was already natural to you. Like for me, the healthy eating used to be natural. It used to come naturally to me. I didn't even really crave anything anymore, and that has a lot to do with just really a sugar detox. That is, you know, after you've done a sugar detox, and that is, I don't have medical proof for this, but I'm sure there is. There must be. But just saying what I experienced, after my sugar detox, I felt horrible. I felt horrible during the detox that I did now. I mean, I did 1 year ago when I started my weight loss journey, and I didn't feel it so bad then. But now, after I had stumbled and fallen off the wagon and ate all kinds of garbage for like 2-3 weeks, and I had to do this sugar detox, because I knew if I don't do that, I will always keep craving those things, ice cream and I don't know, you know, crap, you know, that is real poison for your body. And wow. So I knew I had to do the sugar detox, but this time it felt so horrible. And if you were one of my best friends, I have two, one in Europe and one in America, and I was sharing very openly with both of them how I was feeling during that time, and it was horrible. It was like I was going off drugs. Now, I have never had drugs, but this is somewhat how I imagine it. You know, I was foggy in my brain for weeks. I would say probably 2 weeks plus. I was foggy in my brain. I did not feel my arms. You know, I felt like I knew I have arms, but like the sensitivity in everything below my elbow was so, it was tingly and it was nervous, and I had such a short fuse, and it was horrible. My creativity, forget about it. You know, I was just going to like basics where I knew I can rock this even while I'm asleep. So you know, I had to continue functioning, of course. I still had photo shoots every day. I still had, I still did makeup, except I think for 1 week where I didn't do it. But after that, I went back to my normal life, and I was still in a very bad condition. But I knew it was super, super important for me to just get off that sugar, this really, really cursed sugar. And sweeties, if you do some research and see how many sugars are hidden in processed foods, you would be shocked that there is so much sugar in cold cuts. There is so much sugar in bread you buy. Really, you know, and all kinds of other stuff, and it's just really, really scary. Now, I don't want to be one of those who preaches you to never buy anything processed again, never eat any ice cream again, never eat any, I don't know, cake again, you know, because I think like in everything in life, we just need a balance. And I also touched on that already at the end of my last video in this series, that we're just craving balance. Now, for me personally, it is much, much easier to keep my balance when I'm staying away from all of those triggers, sugar, salt, things like that, as much as I can, because I know if I'm eating something that has like a load of salt on it, I'm gonna want to have more. You know, it just sort of, it increases the appetite, you know, because I guess it makes the food more tasty and more attractive for the body, and you just crave to eat more even though you're already satisfied and you really physically wouldn't need more. This is how I feel about it. And sugar, that's a no-brainer. Sugar just makes you eat more and more because, you know, it's like a catch-22. That's how sugar works in our bodies. So for me personally, that is the best thing, to stay as much as possible away from that. But I would never tell everybody to do that. For me, that works. It works that way, and it's my safe place. And I also feel that that is really probably the most healthy thing to do, because nobody needs sugar. Sweeties, we do not need that in our diet. For us, like physically, for our nutrition, we don't need it. We don't need it. Not that white sugar. No. But I will say that for some people, it is okay to like once a day or what, eat 1 cube of chocolate. You know, now that might sound ridiculous to you, but sweeties, if you use like just one like of these little squares of chocolate, and you maybe even cut it into 4, and you sit down with a cup of coffee, and you make it your rule that you will have those tiny 4 pieces of chocolate, and have your coffee at the side, and you will not finish those 4 pieces till your coffee is finished, and your coffee is hot, so you know that you will have to go slow with those 4 tiny pieces of chocolate. You will cherish them. You will absolutely cherish them. I promise you. You will suckle on them in your mouth, and you will let them melt in your mouth, and actually your body will get way more out of this as if you were eating within 2 minutes a whole chocolate bar, because your body needs time to process what's going on. Your body needs about 20 minutes to actually feel like what you have done. You know, this is the whole thing that I want to get into today, this that you need to make sort of a ceremony out of eating. And partially there's also the slow eating involved, but I want to actually do an extra video on that because there's a lot that has to be said about that. But a part of that is also just making a ceremony out of eating. Big time, do not eat while you're standing. Not standing at the fridge, not standing at the kitchen island, not standing at the car or something like that. Make a ceremony out of eating. Now, we unfortunately have a lot of time the TV running, for example, and I know that that's probably normal in a lot of families. We usually have the news on because, you know, a lot of the stuff is happening in the world, and my husband is very, very active in like being interested in politics and things like this. So He usually has the news on. I will always eat with my back to the TV. I will not watch TV while I'm eating. I will always concentrate on my food. So the first thing that raises awareness for what you're putting into your mouth is, and no matter what that is, even if it is ice cream, even if it is a piece of cake, even if it is something that has really not a lot of or no nutritional value for you, okay? But when you're raising awareness, it will help for you to eat less of that. And in return, you will probably already be able to lose some weight just from that, just from eating just one piece of cake instead of 3. You know what I mean? So you have it on a plate. You're never just eating it out of the jar or out of the box or out of the packaging. You put it on a plate. If you're very, very good, you can light a candle next to your plate. Sit down. Super important. Sit down when you're eating, okay? Put it on a plate, and then first of all, look at your food. Look at your food, see what the texture is, see what the color is, see what it is. What do you think is in your food? You know, sometimes when I'm eating a piece of chicken, I even ask myself, I wonder what the life of the chicken was all about, you know? I know that might sound crazy for some people, but I love animals. I still eat animals, but I love animals, and I want them, of course, to have a happy life up until they end on my plate. Wow, that sounds really, really bad. But, you know, for me, this is a sign of like showing respect to that animal giving itself to me. So that is what I mean, you know, to just look what the color is, what the texture is. What do you think it will taste like when you are actually going to sit down and take the time to eat it instead of just, I don't know, eating it quickly and not even noticing what the real taste is? You know, also when you're eating something, like if you're eating, for example, if you're eating cookies and you just, I don't know, munch them while you're watching TV, okay? So half an hour later, you will probably only know that you ate those cookies or that popcorn or whatever because you see the empty packaging still sitting on the couch. Right or not right? Like you will not feel like you ate something because you distracted yourself. Now, if you sit down and if you put it on a plate and if you actually look at the food that you're about to take in, you know, and if you also have your portion that you want to eat fixed on your plate and you know that you're not going to take more, you will not gain a ridiculous amount of money by eating 2 cookies that you have on your plate. If that is all you eat on that day in like food that is not healthy, okay? So I think that is already a super, super big step in the right direction, that you have, first of all, the portion control. You sit down, you look at your food, you see what you're eating. Your brain is already starting to digest what is going on. You're about to eat, your digestive juices are already starting to run because of course you have appetite for this and you want it. So your body is already in the preparation mode to take it all in, okay? Which already means that your brain is getting a head start on telling you when to stop. So that is already awesome, because in those 20 minutes, about 20 minutes that your brain needs to get there, you can do a lot of damage. You can eat 3 packages of cookies in that time, potentially, if you just stuff it in. If you're just taking 2 cookies and you look at them and you're breaking them up in little parts and you eat them and you chew them slowly and you really enjoy them, you decide to enjoy just that bite right now. And then 2 minutes later, you will take the next bite and you will just enjoy that bite. That is what's going to make the difference. Now, first of all, we have the decision that is the surroundings around the eating, okay? That have to be there. They have to change, because if you're distracting yourself with TV or with a book or being on your phone or whatever, you're going to be distracted and your brain will not be able to wholeheartedly sort of concentrate on on what you're about to eat. Now, the next thing that is sort of a bit of a religious thing, but you can also do it if you're not. Okay, so because I want to make this, of course, accessible for everybody. Now, for me as a religious Jew, we say a blessing, which we call a bracha, before we're eating something. No matter what we put into our mouths, even if it is just a glass of water, we say a bracha, a blessing, which is basically thanking God for whatever He is about to give us, because we do believe that it all is gifted to us by God. Okay, so if you are religious, then you can do that, because again, first of all, it sort of takes your mind off the food and centers from to where it came from. And also this gratefulness also is already a part of, being there in that point where you're satisfied because you're grateful already before you have put something in your mouth. But also it again gives your brain a little bit more time to process that this is what you're about to do. This is what you're going to eat something in a second, but you're taking this time first to say thank you. Okay, now if you're thankful to the universe, or if you're just thankful to Mother Nature or whatever, I don't want to say that you have to do this or that or the other thing, but just to have this moment of thankfulness to where your food came from and to say thank you. Yeah, so that is another thing where I want to say that is really, really important. The last thing that I still want to add to this whole point of making a ceremony around eating is the chewing. Because if you, for example, if you have the cookie, let's stay with the cookie, or even if you are eating rice, it doesn't really matter because it really applies to everything. But I guess we are most likely to gain weight on eating cookies and not so much on eating rice or overeating on rice. I guess that would be the common the thing to do. Okay, so let's stay with the cookie for that matter. If we have the cookie in our hand and we just bite it off and we keep it here and we chew like 2 or 3 times, and then basically because the cookie is already here next to our mouth, we're just flipping our tongue backwards, and whatever is unchewed left in our mouth of the cookie, of the first bite of the cookie, gets just dumped into our throat to go down into our stomach. And because it's already here, the next bite is already here and waiting for us. And there we go, taking the next bite. The best thing is to just take one bite, or to break it into pieces and just eat the pieces. That's even easier. But to take one bite and put the cookie down, or whatever it is, put it down and make it sort of off limits, just for a minute, just for a little bit. Don't touch it and just enjoy what you have in your mouth right now. Now feel how it melts in your mouth. Feel how it tastes. Feel the texture changing in your mouth while you're chewing. All of these things will help you. It sounds ridiculous, yes, and in the beginning there is a lot of thinking involved, and it's very, very exhausting and tiring, and a lot of people, they just get tired of it. But we need to raise awareness. Sweeties, we're raising awareness about everything. The world is very aware of the need for raising awareness about all kinds of things, races and religions and politics and all kinds of things, without going into this, just saying in general, right? So there is a lot of work to still be done in everything, but we are, as humankind, way more pushy in raising awareness. But let's start with ourselves, okay? Let's raise awareness with what is going on our plate and what is going on in our mouths right now. How does it feel? How do I feel about eating this right now? Now, for me personally, and I'm not here to raise guilt in anyone, it's just what I feel personally. If I were to eat a piece of cookie now, yes, I would probably love that there is a crunch to it, that there is maybe some nuts in it or some chocolate pieces. I used to love that, especially like the combination of roasted nuts and chocolates. Right? So, but right now, if I would do that, I would know that I would feel the guilt. Now, that is not good. If you know you're going to feel guilty, don't eat it. Don't even go there. If you can eat with a good conscience that ice cream or whatever it is, then do it and enjoy it. Because if you feel guilty, you're already blocking yourself. Okay? And if you feel guilty, really, then you have already basically reached the next level of awareness, because you are already at the stage where you know that this is is not good for you, okay? But for the beginning, enjoy what you're eating, but enjoy less of it, okay? Don't deny yourself what you think you need as of right now, but just have less of it. And that will already give you tools. It will already give you power that you need for the steps that are to come. You know, maybe you will want to cut out the sugar of your life, out of your life, because yes, it will make you more healthy. Sweeties, nobody believes me that I'm almost 41 years old when I'm filming this. It is because I'm living healthy. It is because I'm drinking water. I'm drinking only water. Besides like 2 cups of coffee per day, I'm drinking only water. I'm not taking in any salt. I'm not taking in any sugar. Now, again, I don't want you to say, Leorah said that she's doing that now, I have to do that, and I'm going to be miserable because of that. I don't want you to be miserable. I want you to take out of this video and out of all of my videos on my channel, I want you to take what is good for you and try to translate that into your life. Okay, don't take that as this is how it has to be done. I'm just sharing that this is how it worked for me and what helped me personally to lose a whole person. You know, because I was like double this size. Seriously, watch last time's video. If you haven't seen that in the beginning, I'm showing you how I used to look. So that's what it is, you know. There is a lot involved. There's a lot of thinking involved. There are sacrifices on the way. Sweeties, I have to point that out again. Is it hard? Yes, it is, especially in the beginning. It gets easier though. Sweeties, once all of this becomes natural to you, and it will become natural to you, this will become a new lifestyle. It's not going to be a diet. If you're just going to want to do a diet, this is not working, you know. But if this becomes your new lifestyle and this is how you're going to approach food from now on, or all kinds of other things in your life that you are going to approach with more awareness, it will become more easy because it will become your second nature, and then you will not think about it anymore because, you know, it is already there. This is one of the tools you will already own, and then you can move on and sort of tackle the next thing, the next step. Okay, so that is it for today. I hope you found that helpful. I know that when I learned this at the beginning of my journey and sort of relearned it also now after, you know, I started to go back to therapy. For me, this was a super, super important tool because yes, we are all busy. We are all running around. And I know there are a lot of people here in my audience who have farms to run, who have a lot of kids, who have busy jobs. And yes, we do tend to eat, you know, just grab something from the fridge or out of the pantry or whatever, and we just put it in our mouth and run to the car and drop off kids. And then, I don't know, stuff like that. Okay. And it happens. It happens to me too because life is crazy sometimes. But if that happens once in a while, that's one thing. But if you cherish yourself enough to make a difference, it will make a difference in you. You know, because if you're treating yourself with enough self-love to just take 5 minutes, 7 minutes to have that, drink whatever you want to drink, coffee, tea, water, whatever it is, and sit down and have your cookie. Or for me, my little meals in between my big meals are, for example, 2 pieces of dried fruit and 8 almonds. So right now I'm eating, for example, 2 pieces or two dried apricots and 8 almonds. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting my 2 apricots into 4 pieces each. So I have 1/4 with each almond, and I'm putting it on top of each other like a tiny little sandwich, and I'm eating it together. So again, I have this mixture of sweet and crunchy, which I love. And I'm still getting it, and I'm getting good fats. Now, you know, dried apricot is maybe, you know, you can take it or leave it. I love dried fruits, and I love nuts, you know. So this is going to be my little meal in between. And it just helps me to keep my sugar levels constant because, you know, 2 pieces of dried fruit are not going to make you fat at all, you know. But there is this thing that you're allowing yourself what you love, but you have to control the portions, you know, and then you can allow yourself what you love. And if that is a cookie, if you need at 10 o'clock in the morning as your little meal between breakfast and lunch, you need your cookie and your coffee, then have your cookie and your coffee, but just control the portion and actually sit down and enjoy it and take your time, take those 5 minutes for yourself, because that will bless you, you know? It will be good for you just to take some time off from life. Okay, so that is what I wanted to share. I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Again, please give me your feedback, what you think about this whole series, and if it is helpful for you. Do you want me to continue? Do you want me to go into more of this? Because I really have a lot that I would want to share, but I don't have to at all. You know, if you say this is annoying or whatever, and this is not helpful because, you know, I'm too strict or whatever, then just let me know too, because I can also stop it. You know, whatever you say. Yeah. Okay, sweeties, so this is it for today. Now, for sure, really, this time, this is it. And if you like the video, then please give it a like. Again, leave me your comments. You will find my makeup and everything, of course, in the description box down below. And if you're new here, then please subscribe to my channel. I do all kinds of things here on my channel. I have makeup content, I have lifestyle content, I have some wrapping tutorials, one every week usually, and that is what I do here. And I hope you like the variety, because life is variety, sweeties, okay? So that's how I see it, and let me know what you think. I'll see you here next time for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.